Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report, where we dig into every twist and turn of Chicago Bears rumors and realities. Tonight, we're peeling back the layers on one question that's got every fan on the edge of their seat. Could DeAndre Swift's time in Chicago be coming to an unexpected end? It all started when Swift's name kept popping up in trade whispers throughout the offseason. You remember those swirling reports? The Bears offering up draft capital just to move into position for a fresh backfield face, perhaps aiming at Tre'Von Henderson or Ashton Jeanty. Could it be that the front office saw Swift not as their anchor, but as a bargaining chip to secure the next big thing? The idea alone sends shivers down the spine of any Bears believer. Let's rewind to last season. Swift burst onto the scene in March 2024, inking a deal mere hours into free agency. Expectations were sky high, and, to be fair, he delivered. Rushing for 959 yards and punching in 6 touchdowns, he looked every bit the dynamic playmaker the Bears had hoped for. Yet, even with those numbers shining on his stat sheet, questions lingered. Was he truly part of Ben Johnson's grand design for Chicago's offense, or merely a placeholder until a new prodigy emerged? In April's draft, the Bears made their splashy selections: tight end Colston Loveland at number 10, then the attempted maneuver to jump into pick number 38. Reports from ESPN's Mike Reese suggest Ryan Poles dangled pick 39 plus a 7th rounder, all in a bid for running back Tre'Von Henderson. That deal fell through. Henderson headed to New England, and Chicago walked away with Kyle Monangai in the 7th. On paper, pairing Monangai's raw explosiveness with Swift's veteran savvy seemed like a recipe for electric backfield chemistry. But insiders hint that the Bears were actually eyeing Ashton Jeanty before circling back to Monangai. Could Swift have simply been collateral in their maneuvering? And here's where the speculation really takes flight. Johnson coached Swift in Detroit alongside Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, fields he knows intimately. That connection could spell opportunity, right? Or does it mean Johnson recognizes Swift's limitations firsthand and is quietly plotting a shift? Some whisper that Monangai might already be climbing the depth chart in practice, flashing bursts that remind coaches of the Lions' dynamic duo rather than just a reliable backup. Is it possible the Bears envision Monangai as their new primary runner, rendering Swift's role increasingly redundant? Fast forward to training camp. Rumors swirl of closed-door meetings where zeros get advanced and roles get redefined. Fans have spotted Swift hauling up extra weight in the weight room, maybe a sign he's determined to prove his worth, or perhaps bracing for the physical toll of coming off the bench. Meanwhile, veterans around him are murmuring about dress code, scrums, and workload splits. Could these be subtle clues that the team is preparing to pivot away from Swift's bigger touches? Then there's the financial angle. Swift is set to earn a significant chunk of salary cap space this season. In a league where every dollar counts, could the Bears decide that pruning his contract frees up room to chase defensive reinforcements or shore up the offensive line? Some insiders believe a release or restructuring could be imminent, especially if Monangai or another veteran signee dazzles in preseason games. Remember, the Bears don't shy away from bold moves. Just ask the front office about that blockbuster trade rumor machine. Peeling back the fan reaction layer, social media is aflame. Threads debate whether Swift deserves loyalty after one strong season, or if the future must be prioritized. Could this be the beginning of the end for Swift in Chicago? Asks one viral post. Another fan boldly proclaims, "Release him and get a high draft pick. That's how you rebuild." Indeed, the chatter highlights the passion and polarization Swift elicits. And while some remain steadfast in their support, citing his yards after contact and pass-catching chops, others wonder if his play style truly meshes with Johnson's vision of a fast-paced, unpredictable ground game. Let's not forget the human element. Swift himself has expressed gratitude for the opportunity, sharing heartfelt posts about Bears fans and Chicago's resilience. Could cutting ties with a beloved teammate fracture locker room chemistry? Or will the competitive hunger of a fresh, Face reinvigorate the squad? There's talk that Swift has been meeting privately with coaches, seeking clarity on his role. If talks stall, could that meeting signal the writing on the wall? As we edge toward the regular season, every snap in preseason becomes magnified. If Swift's carries dip below a certain threshold, alarms will ring. And if Monengai or another RB climbs ahead on the depth chart, that's more ammunition for the rumor mill. Could a midseason release be in the cards, with Swift landing elsewhere, maybe even as trade bait at the deadline? In this maelstrom of speculation, one thing's certain: the Bears organization and its fan base are at a crossroads. Will they honor Swift's contribution with a starring role, or will they make a daring pivot toward youth and cap flexibility? The stakes are monumental, shaping the dynamic of the offense and the identity of Ben Johnson's tenure. If you're as invested in DeAndre Swift's fate as we are, hit that like button now and subscribe to Bears News Fan Report so you never miss an update on this unfolding saga. As we pick up from where we left off, the question hanging over Halas Hall is clear. Will Swift's role shrink to a mere supporting act, or could he stage a comeback worthy of redemption? Training camp footage has shown Kyle Monengai carving up defenders with the kind of burst and vision that makes coaches sit up and take notice. Yet Swift's seasoned instincts, his knack for finding seams and his clutch third-down conversions remain, unmatched by most rookies. Could this be a classic case of veteran savvy versus rookie exuberance? Some insiders whisper that Monengai's meteoric rise poses an existential threat to Swift's carries. Imagine a split backfield where Monengai handles the early down power runs while Swift is asked to sprinkle in the big plays. But another theory takes aim at Swift's contract. With over $7 million in cap hit, moving on from him could free resources for an upgrade on the defensive front. After all, the front office has made it clear they view defense as the cornerstone of this rebuild. Is it possible that the Bears see Swift's cap number as prime trade leverage rather than a guaranteed roster spot? Let's not overlook the human drama here. Swift, ever the professional, has been seen mentoring younger backs during team drills, sharing tips on reading blocks, or picking up blitzes. That kind of leadership is invaluable, especially for a team in transition under a first-year head coach. But leadership doesn't always translate to on-field touches. If Monengai or a midseason veteran signing like Devin Hester Jr., yes, we're speculating wildly here, starts to steal snaps, Swift's community hero status in Chicago could be overshadowed by the shifting dynamics of playing time. And then there's the looming trade deadline in late October. If the Bears continue to hover around 500 or worse, a blockbuster roster shakeup could be on the table. Picture this: Swift, the seasoned RB with playoff experience, packaged to a contender, in need of a backfield boost in exchange for high-end draft capital. Could we see a scenario where Swift lands in Kansas City or San Francisco, donning a different jersey by Week 10? Fans are already buzzing with what-ifs on fan forums. Could the Chiefs' injury woes make Swift the perfect midseason acquisition? Or is Chicago eyeing a surprise RB prospect in next year's class? Meanwhile, the locker room vibe matters. Teammates like Cole Kmet and DJ Moore have publicly praised Swift's work ethic, calling him a professional. But vote of confidence in public can coexist with private roster machinations. Remember when Chicago traded Leonard Floyd despite his popularity? The front office isn't afraid to make tough calls if they believe it accelerates progress. Will Swift be the next tough love casualty, or will Johnson's prior history with him at Detroit tip the scales in his favor? But what do you think about all this? Do you believe DeAndre Swift will suit up in a Bears uniform come December? Or is his chapter here already closing? I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you're the first to know when the next twist drops. Until next time, bear down and keep the faith.